We all know that evil is rampant in the land, but you may not understand how you can do something to help prevent the spread of this evil. As a light worker, you are tasked with sending more love into the world, sharing your light and your joy. But something that you may have forgotten is that evil hides under the guise of fear. And one of the ways that we spread evil is through complaining. Complaining about what's wrong, complaining about what we don't have, complaining about what we don't like in ourselves and each other. So today we need to understand what we can do about it and how we can stop this spread of evil. Welcome everyone, it's Marcia Martin, the Heart Healer, and even though you may never think of yourself as an evil person or someone who is deliberately out to harm others, you may be forgetting about the harm that you are doing to yourself when you engage in the habit of complaining or when you allow yourself to be around others who are constantly complaining. So our helper today is Archangel Michael. Almost all of you know of or have worked with Archangel Michael, but let's just take a little review of all the ways in which he can help us. Archangel Michael's name means he who is like God. Our goal in every life is to become more like God. I've often told you that you're perfect, but you're not complete. So you are perfect for this moment in which you are now occupying, but you will not be complete until you are like God. That's why Archangel Michael is one of the most powerful angels and is so effective in helping us when we call on him for assistance. His color is blue, and he helps to oversee the light worker's purpose. So if you feel that you might have lost your way or that you just can't seem to get a handle on what it is that you're to do, call on Archangel Michael for guidance. His chief function is to rid the world of the toxins of fear. There is nothing more toxic than fear. It spreads out into every part of our lives, and it appears quite innocuous because it hides in other guises. It hides behind telling us things like, well, you want to keep your family safe, so you better be afraid that something bad is going to happen to them. Or it hides behind the newscaster that it's trying to share their view of the events of the world. It hides in many different ways, but as a light worker, one of your major tasks is to help to hold that light of love, which fear cannot penetrate. Archangel Michael will help you with his powerful sword of truth. Remember, he holds this powerful sword in his right hand, and he will help you cut through your own fear, negativity, and limiting beliefs. He'll help release you from the lies, the illusions, and the stories that you may be telling yourself about your own value or self-worth. Any of those distortions that you may be holding about your life because of the way you grew up or the societal structure within which you were raised, all of those can be released with the help of Archangel Michael. He will also help you find motivation, courage, protection, and worthiness. If you're feeling a little shaky in the self-esteem department, you want Archangel Michael to help really boost you, lift you up, remind you that you are a child of God. Michael is the perfect manifestation of God's mercy. He'll help you to remove your problems and bring with him the presence of great enthusiasm, but yet authoritative strength. So Michael is a lot of fun and brings a lot of energy with him, but he also brings the wonderful protective feeling of strength. So if you are feeling at loose ends, or you're just feeling like you may not be enough, you want to call on Archangel Michael to help you remember all that you are. Archangel Michael will help you manifest your deepest dreams, and he'll do this by cutting away your attachment to that which isn't working. So often we get stuck in a loop. We get focused on and talking about and complaining about everything that isn't working and that we don't have and that we feel is never going to be. That as long as we stay in the loop of what's not, we will never be able to get into the circle of what is. So call on Archangel Michael and his powerful sword and be released from all that is not serving you. Michael is God's messenger, bringing the message that God is love, joy, peace, hope, wisdom, and grace. When you think of God, remember all of these things. God is all that is good, and good is always God. So now, let's hear from Archangel Michael directly about how we can defeat the dark and rid the world of evil by refusing to complain. Just stopping the complaining and stepping in to that place of joy. So Archangel Michael begins. Dear ones, there is much that has been long hidden that is now coming to the surface, yet still you seem unaware of how you're participating in the ongoing existence of evil that is being exposed so that it may be released. Let us look at the habit of complaining, the act of looking at what's wrong, what you don't have, or what you don't want, and spending all of your time and energy obsessing over its existence. If there is evil in the world, it has been allowed to flourish because of your participation in this darkness. You forget that you are both powerful and responsible creators. So you go about your days thinking about, talking about, and paying attention to everything that is wrong. You have completely forgotten that the majority of your lives have been spent in the arms of overflowing good, and instead you peck at the insignificant element that's wrong because it stands out as a black mark against a sea of brilliant goodness. Then, instead of remembering your role as creator of your experiences, you further expand into the waters of ignorance and grief by complaining about the speck of darkness that has found its way into your sea of good. Gone is your gratitude for all that is. Gone is the right use of your creative powers, and into your world comes evil and darkness run through with the stink of ignorance. But you are not ignorant. You are not subservient to the dark. You are children of the light, heirs to all that is good, for you are the children of God. It is time that you remember your birthright. It is time that you look into your hearts and let go of all of the ways in which you are serving the dark. Let go of complaining. Let go of what's missing. Let go of believing that you are weak. Let go of false beliefs and take up my sword of truth. I, Archangel Michael, call you now to stand by my side. Stand with me in separating your being from all that is not serving your highest good. This means that you must stop complaining, stop focusing on what's wrong, and stop empowering the dark with your life force. Instead, look to what is right and enhance all that feels good by sending the energy of your heart center into its midst. When you see that all that you have and bless it, you release the dark and magnify the light. Please let us remember the power that is within each one of us. It comes from our heart center, our place of alignment with God. And we can access this power at any time we choose to place our attention on our heart and remind ourselves of all that is right, instead of looking outside of ourselves at everything that we believe must be wrong. What we look at, what we talk about, what we continue giving our attention to is what we are going to begin experiencing. If you're unhappy with the life that you're living, I want you to take a minute and without any judgment or criticism, review the last conversation that you had with someone. Was it filled with complaints? Did you point out everything that was wrong? Were you feeling a little bit afraid, unsafe, and unloved? Don't criticize and don't judge. Just be grateful that you were able to recognize that you were calling more unwanted things to you. And now, right now, together, let's close our eyes. Take a deep breath and placing our attention on the heart center. Ask Archangel Michael to come into our hearts and release us from the habit of complaining. His sword of truth will cut away all of that attachment to the negativity, to the complaining, to the desire to look at what you don't have instead of being filled with joy for all that you do have. You're going to have to be extra vigilant and really pay attention to the words that are coming out of your mouth and the thoughts that you are allowing yourself to think. And every time a complaint tries to leave your mouth, stop and say silently to yourself, I want to receive my highest good, not my lowest, not that evil ick that is lurking in the shadows. And then allow yourself to reframe it. Perhaps you don't have the job that you desire right now, but you have a job. Find something good about that job and focus on that. I'm so delighted that I have a seat by the window if you have nothing else. Or I am very happy that I have a paycheck. Open yourself to what you do have so that that is your vibrational match, and law of attraction can bring you more of what you do have. More of a paycheck, a better view, a better job, a better way to interact with the world. But if you are always looking at what is not and expecting that something better will come to you, you're on a fool's journey, and you are not a fool. You're acting as if you are ignorant, but yet you are not ignorant. You know the law of attraction is working ceaselessly on your behalf. But you've got to do your part, and your part is monitoring your thoughts and your words so that what you are giving your attention to is what is wanted. But as always, we're not alone. Archangel Michael is standing ready with that sword of truth to help you receive the best possible outcome you can. Love yourself enough to receive that help. Love yourself enough to be open and really focused on your heart center so that you won't miss out on the help that God and all of the angels are sending forth for you this day and every day. Honor yourself because you're worth it, and you deserve to live a life that feels great. Thank you, everyone, for being here, for listening, for subscribing, for commenting. And remember, if you have a topic, please put it in the comments below, a question that you want to ask the angels. Let's make sure that as a community, we get a really great understanding of how we can live our best life. And as always, I invite you to join me on my website, marciamartinthehearthealer.com or mmhearthealer.com. You will have answers to your questions also from my blog, from other videos on this channel, and if you really want personal attention from the angels, then sign up to work with me personally. The angels will answer a few questions for you, and then we can examine whether you need to dive even deeper and you would like guidance to do that. Or if you are great at working on your own, then join my community, because the angels are filling that space with incredible advice and help and support. But whatever you desire, I want you to be uplifted, encouraged, and inspired to be your best self every day. So until next time, I'm sending you all my love and my deepest gratitude.